March 29th, 1987, the World Wrestling Federation sets the world indoor attendance record in Pontiac, Michigan.
I remember that night. I'll tell you. I remember we didn't have pay-per-view in my area, but me and my friend, we had a sleepover at his house, and we sat there and called his grandmother who lived in another state, but she was watching it on pay-per-view, and she would give us the results. But I remember about half the time she didn't know the names of the wrestlers, so she would just describe them to us.
Welcome to WrestleMania! Records don't bend, they break. Next year, history will be made again. WrestleMania 2001, live from the Houston Astrodome.
I believe that event at the Astrodome actually set the attendance record for the Astrodome.
Big news, ladies and gentlemen, deep in the heart of Texas, WrestleMania next year in the Houston Astrodome.
The reason that they tend to set the attendance record is because they don't need to use, football requires a big field. Baseball is a big field. Wrestling, they do a big stage now, and they kind of do a big show. But, the ring's small. You can fit a lot of people around that ring.
It is going to be, without a doubt, even bigger than the biggest WrestleMania of all time, King. Are you all right? Bigger than that cat fight? I don't think you've seen the last of those two ladies, have you?
And immediately Jerry Lawler is talking about two girls that fought in the ring. Today we're talking about the Houston Astrodome. I never got to visit this place. I know it's sort of still there, but it's mostly gone. And this was something that I dreamed about as a kid. It just was so big. It was so new. It was so different. And now it's old and busted. But we're going to take a look back and see a lot of stuff about the Astrodome. Make sure to like, subscribe, and everything else. And let's go.
From the Great Dome itself to the record-long dugout down at the field level, 120 feet long.
Woo.
So that large numbers of people can say, I sat behind the dugout. And then each and every chair.
I mean, this is 1965, so this is when the Astrodome opened. It opened way before I was on this earth, but even when I was a kid, this was still it, man. This was still the stadium you heard
in
about.
The place, like a plush Theodore Lowe's chair. And then back to the Great Dome itself,
like a plush chair that you can sit in.
Circumscribed as it is by record candlelight power. The center of the dome, 208 feet high. And then, not visible to the naked eye, the backstage, apartments.
This ceiling that they had is so iconic. I think it was Brewster McCloud was the movie that they had in the Astrodome. And I know there's a movie called Murder at the World Series, which is a real fun TV movie. But again, it's because the Astrodome, it was like a character in that movie because it was so iconic and like that really cool roof. Especially, I remember watching baseball games and seeing the ball, and then they'd shoot to that shot of the roof and you couldn't see anything. You couldn't figure out where the ball was. The light was coming in.
That cost $14,000 to $30,000 a year. Let's look. You're looking into one of the magnificently appointed, individually designed apartments in the great Houston
Wow,
state.
apartments.
Appointments like these, this Buddha. And each apartment even has closed-circuit television.
Look at
Or
that.
you can go out to watch the ball game. Watch it in your place.
No, but I can do that at my house, Howard Cosell.
Always, of course, in Texas, wherever you are, there is the beautiful girl.
Well, hello, ladies. Howard Cosell would like a little word with you after the show.
And she has a
round head of hair.
beautiful animated scoreboard.
Ah, the scoreboard.
Spectacular. 474 feet long.
Yeah, this scoreboard. Look at that animation. That is so cool.
And then, of course, for the man who wants to go to the bar, there's the old-style Texas
I like
bar.
that.
And the old-style Texas bartender. There are two individual Spanish apartments with the beautiful senoritas, of course.
With the senoritas. We saw that scoreboard. I have a video from 1988 where apparently the scoreboard goes dark. Let's see if it's interesting. Let's see if it's worth checking out.
Now logging 2 hours 51 minutes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for the final time.
but the Budweiser sign stays on forever. Let's take a look at some footage of some demolition of part of the stadium. Let's see this and figure this out. It's the staircases, right? Yeah, that's what they're... Oh, my God. I mean, I found this weird. They were like, let's blow up the staircases. We haven't figured out what to do with the stadium itself, but we don't want anybody climbing up into it. So here we are at the Astrodome. This is 1993 home movie footage. Look at these seats there. You can see the Astros colors. This is great. Look at that. You can see like that floating drone type thing. I wonder what that was. Like a little indoor blimp. How small is it though? Let's skip ahead. Oh, there's Orbit. I guess this was the Astros mascot. That's him? Yeah, Orbit. He's cute. Yeah, there it is, flying around. Yeah, I mean, here's the problem when they had these multi-use stadiums, and so they would play baseball and football in the same place, right, in the same building. They had one in Philadelphia, the Veterans Stadium was that way. And so look, you can see those stands, lots of people. Hey, move out of the way, jerk. All right, lots of people in those stands. We can see lots of people filling up those seats. It actually looks like, I think the Phillies are... Is it the Phillies or the Reds? Who's playing there? I think it's the Phillies. Just a little outside. But yeah, when you would go to these shots, I mean, it's easy for a football game to fill the stadium because they don't have as many games. You got a lot of baseball games. But man, look at that. Come on. Ooh, just a bit outside. Let's take a look at opening day, 1965. Let's go out with the beginning.
The first game was an exhibition between the New York Yankees and the newly named Astros. And the first homer in the dome came from the incomparable...
It wasn't that... They couldn't fill the seats for the first game?
Mickey Mantle.
All right, here's the leadoff.
Look at that guy just smoking away. That was what you could do back then. You could smoke, you could bring your books with you. It's all good. It was the Wild West at baseball stadiums. All right, so they're intercutting audio with video because this crowd clearly is not watching a home run.
The first game was an exhibition between the New York Yankees and the newly named Astros.
Right.
And the first homer in the dome came from the incomparable Mickey Mantle.
Mickey Mantle. We already heard this, but now we're looking at it.
Mickey Mantle, and he drives one into deep center field. Wind backs up. He's on the warning track. Here's the long jump.
They're not cheering, man. The Astros fans are like, no, we don't cheer. I don't care if it's the first home run. Tear this place down. Look at that. Look at that scoreboard saying tilt.
Mantle hit it 406 feet from home plate, and the roar of the crowd.
Oh, we don't like you.
After Mantle's homer, the Astros settled down and wound up winning the game 2-1 on Nellie Fox's single in the 12th inning.
I've never heard this news before. Look at those scoreboards.
A few days later, on April 12th, at the first official National League game played in the Dome, 21 NASA astronauts were on hand to greet their baseball counterparts by throwing out 21 first balls.
Oh, that is awesome. For the Astros, they had astronauts. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you next time.